Okay, hi everyone, I'm Hana and I'll be guiding you through our release class. So a couple of things that you might need. If you don't have a bolster, which is this big pillow, just grab a few pillows from your bed, and then you might like a blanket or something smaller, something soft to sit on or put over you. So, all right, we're gonna start in a butterfly pose. So we'll come to a seated position and place the pillows or your bolster behind you. And bring the soles of your feet together and open your knees out nice and wide. And then we'll place the pillows under your upper back. So just roll on down. Cool. And then you can open your arms out to the side, palms facing up. If you'd like a deeper release for the chest, you can bend the elbows, 90-degree angles, like so. Yeah, but otherwise just wherever you're comfortable. Close down your eyes and just start to bring your awareness to your breath and to your body. And feel the whole body lift as you inhale and the whole body soften as you exhale. So we'll use just the start of this practice to anchor our awareness inward. Take your awareness away from anything else that's happening. Notice how your body feels. Notice the sounds around you. And if the stretch in your hips becomes a little too intense, feel free to lengthen your legs out long instead. So today we'll hold each pose for about 2 minutes. If you feel that you need a little longer in a pose, just press pause and continue on. So generally in our release class, we'll hold each pose for about 4 or 5 minutes. And the reason for that is the longer we hold the stretch, the deeper we can go into our connective tissue. We'll just take a couple more deep breaths here. And then when you're ready, we can reach your arms overhead. You can interlace the fingers, stretch your legs out, lengthen the whole body. Great. And then roll over onto your side and bring yourself up. And we'll come to child's pose next. So grab your cushions or pillows, whatever you've got. And take your knees out wide, bring the big toes to touch. And then reach forward, rest your chest onto your bolster, and then one ear. So this is a restorative version of child's pose. So it's really nice and relaxing, and you can sink in and stretch out your hips. If you'd like something a bit more for the shoulders, you can take the bolster away, and reach your arms out in front, forehead resting onto the mat. And then something even stronger, you can place your elbows up onto the bolster, palms together, and rest your forehead onto your bolster like so. And just find a position that feels right for your body today. And wherever you are, relax the shoulders. You can close down your eyes. And let the hips sink down towards your heels. Feel the back of the rib cage expand as you inhale. And feel the whole body become heavier as you exhale. We'll hold here for about one more minute. We'll just take a few more deep breaths in your child's pose. And then slowly make your way back up to tabletop. So push the bolster out in front. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips. And just find a bit of movement, whatever feels nice. You can circle the hips, take the hips to one side, and forward and back. Yeah, or maybe some cat-cows, arching and curving. Great. And then when you feel ready, you're going to come into pigeon pose. So you might like a bolster or a pillow to put under your hip for this one. So just have it handy. Bring your right knee behind your right wrist. And then this cushion or whatever you have, you can pop it under your right hip. Lengthen the left leg back behind you, and then rest your chest down onto your bolster like you did before in child's pose. So another option, if this pose doesn't work for you, it's quite intense for some of our knees, some people's knees. So if that's you, you can try this other variation, lying down onto your back, crossing your ankle over the knee, and then you can just push your right knee away from you, or you can hug the thigh in towards your chest. And then once you find your comfy pose, just find softness, lengthen the breath, and feel your body slowly open up. We'll just take a few more deep breaths in this shape. Great, and then we'll slowly release. If you're lying onto your back, you can hug your knees into your chest or circle the knees around. If you're in your pigeon pose, you can come up to tabletop or a downward facing dog. So it will look like this, tabletop, or send your hips up high. Find some movement, you can go for a bit of a walk. You can shake the head, whatever feels nice after that long hold. Great, and then we'll change over to the opposite side. So bring your left knee forward and lengthen your right leg back. And then again, you might need the pillow or blanket under your hip. And then resting your chest onto the bolster. And again, if this doesn't work for you, you can find that other option lying down onto your back. And rest your opposite ear onto the bolster this time so that your neck is balanced. And feel free to move around a little bit if the pose doesn't feel quite right. So both sides will feel slightly different, so you can always adjust your practice, adjust one side to the other. Yeah, you can even come up to the seated pigeon variation. That might give you a different sensation. And then once you've found your comfortable shape, just coming back to the breath and coming back to this moment. All right, we'll just take a few more deep breaths in your pigeon pose. Great, and then if you are lying down, hug your knees in towards your chest or circle the knees around. If you're in your pigeon, tabletop, move the hips, or downward dog. Just notice the change in your body after that stretch. Just find movements that just feel natural. Cool. Okay, and then we'll come to seated. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees out wide for butterfly pose. So you can choose whether you can bring the heels nice and close or take them out further, whatever feels right. And if it feels difficult to sit like this, you can always sit onto a blanket or sit onto your bolster. And that way you can sit upright without falling backwards. Cool. And we'll take a deep breath in, lengthen the spine. And then as you exhale, we'll fold forward. Reach your arms out in front. Let the shoulders roll forward, let the head become really heavy. And go for a bit of a sway side to side. You can walk to one side, you can walk to the other. You might feel a nice stretch into the lower back. We'll just spend a few more deep breaths in this shape. Right, and then come back to center and walk your way back up to seated. We'll take your feet out wide and come to our straddle shape. So again, you can sit onto something, especially if you feel like you're leaning backwards like this. And for some of us, this will be enough of a stretch, so you can just stay right here. You can even lean up against a wall and just be seated. Yep. Others, you can start to walk forward. You can even place your elbows onto a bolster, or you can even rest your chin onto your hands. Just go wherever or however deep feels good for you today. You can maybe flex and point the feet. Yeah. Roll the ankles. Now try to keep the spine lengthened as much as possible. So you're hinging forward from the hips rather than rounding the back and trying to reach forward like this. So if you find that you're rounding like this, maybe just stay upright and find that tilt from the pelvis. So I know this pose is quite intense, so it might be a good time just to think back to your breath and back to, slowing down the breath so that you can calm the nervous system. So we have just a few more deep breaths in this shape. Great, and then slowly start to come back up. Move any props away. And then slowly bring the legs back together so you can inch them forward one at a time, or you can use your hands. Cool. And then just give them a bit of a wiggle, maybe a rub, if that feels good. Great. All right. And then next we'll lengthen your right leg out in front. Bring your left foot to your inner thigh for a hamstring stretch. So take a deep breath in, reach your arms up overhead, stretch up nice and tall. Feel free to bend this front leg, or you can pop a blanket underneath. And then as you exhale, we'll fold over the right leg. Yeah, if you can reach your toes, you can pull the toes back. Yeah, otherwise you can just have your hands down. Focus on belly button reaching towards the thigh. Yeah, so again, just like before, rather than rounding the back like this, try to find that hinge forward from your hips. And feel free to kind of walk one way, walk the other. I find if I walk my hands over to the right side, I get a nice stretch into the lower back, so you can try that. Or walking onto the left side, you get a bit more of an inner thigh release. Great. One more deep breath. Cool. And then slowly walk back up to seated. Right, and we'll turn to the side. So place your right hand onto your left knee. Then inhale and reach your left arm up overhead for a side stretch. So lifting up and over to the side, and really fill up through that left side. Breathe into the left rib cage. Yeah, those of you who are a little bit more bendy, you can reach towards the toes and then look up towards the sky. Yep, otherwise just stay with your side bend, look towards the sky, really opening up through the side waist. We'll just be here for another few breaths. Great, and then we'll come back up to seated. Place your left hand onto the mat behind you. Reach your right hand up and lift your hips up off the mat. Open up the whole front of the body. Great, and then we'll lower back down and change to the opposite side. So I'm going to turn this way. Right foot to your inner thigh. Inhale and reach your arms up overhead. And then exhale as you fold forward. Yeah, again, you can pop something under the left knee if you need. You can hold the toes and pull back if you'd like a bit more of a calf stretch. And find the length of the spine as much as you can. So chest open, shoulders back. Or maybe have a play around with walking your hands one way and walking your hands the other way. Just finding different stretches within this stretch. Great, take a few more deep breaths. And then slowly walk back up. And we'll turn to the side. So left hand onto your knee this time. Turn the chest to reach your right arm up overhead. Lift up and over for your side bend. Yeah, maybe reaching towards your toe. So if you're reaching towards your toe, you can use this left hand to look up and pull you back into the twist. Yeah, otherwise just in your side bend. Focus on breathing into the right rib cage. Just one more deep breath. Cool. And then place your right hand down. Lift your hips up. Lean back, look towards your fingers behind you. Great. And then we'll lower back down. All right, let's lengthen both legs out in front. And you might like a pillow for this one. You can pop the pillow on top and fold forward. So if you have another pillow, you can pop it on top like this, or a blanket, whatever you've got. You can rest one ear, or you can rest your forehead and just fold. So focus on breathing into the upper back. So you're opening up the back of the ribs as you breathe. And spreading the shoulder blades wide. Yeah, and you can let the spine round forward. Okay, if you have a little bit more space, you can take the pillows away, reach forward for your ankles or for your toes. And fold yourself in half. And we'll take a few more deep breaths in this pose. Okay, and then slowly step back up with your hands back up to seated. Place your hands back behind you, fingers pointing forward or slightly out to the sides. Feet onto the mat, lift your hips up for a reverse tabletop. So keep your chin forward, or you can let it drop back if it feels okay for your neck. And lift your chest up towards the sky. Squeeze the shoulder blades together behind you so you're feeling that nice big stretch across the chest and the front of the body. Great. And then we'll sit back down. All right. Find a comfortable seated position. So you can be cross-legged like this. You can sit onto a bolster, or you can sit onto a chair. All right, and once you're comfy, you'll just go for a bit of a head roll. So circling the head. And releasing the neck and shoulders. If you find a tight spot, you can just hold for a moment and then continue on with your circles. And then change direction. All right, let's sit onto your right hand. So have the palm facing up and sit onto your hand. And then with your opposite hand, you're going to lean and pull the head away for a nice neck stretch. Great. And then you can look down, hold the back of your head, and pull the chin towards your towards your chest. Cool. And then we'll go back to the side. And then reach your right arm away from you. Stretch the fingers and slowly lower your hand towards your hip. Just do that a few more times. You might feel quite a deep stretch into the shoulder and maybe down along the arm as well. Cool. And then same thing with the chin towards the chest. Great. And then we'll come back up and go for a bit of a circle again. Notice the difference. Just check in, maybe one side feeling a bit longer than the other. Cool. And then we'll change sides. So sitting onto your left hand, leaning over, holding on to your head. Good. And then hold the back of the head, pull the chin towards the chest. And then back to the side. Reach your arm away, spread the fingers, slowly lower down. And then same thing with the chin towards the chest. then circle the head again. Notice the changes. Maybe side to side, up and down. All right. So let's prepare for our final pose, which is relaxation. So you can lie down or you can be seated, how I am here, or however you'd like to sit. So if you're lying down, feel free to pop a pillow or something under your knees, and then you can put a cushion under your head, or if you don't need a cushion, that's okay too. Yeah, or even pop a blanket on top of you. So lying down, arms beside you, palms facing up. Yeah, you might not need a blanket or anything under the head. And close down your eyes, relax the shoulders. And just bring your body to complete stillness. Feel the breath. Feel the changes in your body after all of those stretches that we did today. And relax your whole body, starting with the head. So feel the weight of your head as it falls into the mat. And relax the face, the eyebrows, cheeks, jaw. Relax your neck, your shoulders, your upper arms, forearms, your hands. And feel the rib cage expand and contract with the breath. And relax your belly, your hips. Feel the weight of the pelvis press into the mat underneath you. And relax your thighs, your knees, your shins, ankles, and your feet, soles of the feet and your toes. Just allow the whole body to relax here. And if you need a bit more time here in your relaxation, feel free to stay. Otherwise, slowly start to deepen the breath. Wiggle the fingers and the toes, just gently wake up your body. Okay, feel free to hug your knees into your chest, or you can reach your arms overhead and take a big stretch. And then roll over onto your preferred side and come on up to a comfortable seat. You can leave your eyes closed, any comfortable seated position. You can place your hands onto your knees or wherever's comfy. And take a big breath in and a long, steady breath out. Good, a big breath in. And let it all out. Great, one more big inhale. A nice long, steady exhale. Great. And check in with your body. Check in with the sounds around you. And then slowly blink the eyes open, let the light gently filter back in. Great. Thanks everyone. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah. Have a great evening or morning or wherever you're at right now. Yeah, and thank you so much for watching. Always appreciated. So thanks.